Carl Gustav Jung was a pioneer of depth psychology, a field that delved into the depths of the human soul and the hidden elements of our psyche. His theories provide a window into understanding the self or authentic self, a theme that resonates particularly as we reach our 40s, a life stage often marked by personal reflection and a desire for deeper meaning. Born in 1875 in Switzerland, Jung was intrigued by the nature of the human psyche from a young age. His early work at the Bergelsli Psychiatric Hospital in Zurich provided him with direct insights into mental disorders. However, it was his collaboration and subsequent break with Sigmund Freud that truly marked the beginning of his path toward developing his own theories. Although initially a follower of Freud, he soon felt that Freud's approach was overly centered on the sexual aspects of human development. Jung's theory of individuation, which deals with the process of integrating different facets of the personality, emerged from his conviction that human psychological development is a lifelong process that does not stop in early adulthood, but continues to evolve in subsequent decades. Individuation is not just a journey toward achieving a complete self, but also a spiritual and personal process of becoming who one truly is, beyond social mass and imposed roles. For Jung, this process involves a recognition and integration of what he termed the shadow, those aspects of ourselves we reject or of which we are unaware. By the 40s, many individuals begin to confront these hidden parts of their being more seriously, often because life pushes them into challenges that cannot be overcome with the strategies used in their youth. In this sense, the midlife crisis, far from being a cliché, can be seen as an opportunity for personal growth and transformation. Jung also emphasized the importance of dreams and symbolic images as means through which our psyche attempts to communicate with us. Through dream analysis and techniques like active imagination, he proposed that we can engage in dialogue with deeper parts of ourselves, thereby facilitating the individuation process. This approach can be particularly revealing and enriching in midlife, when the desire for authenticity becomes more pressing. Additionally, Jung introduced the concept of archetypes, innate structures of the psyche that manifest in dreams, fantasies, and myths. These archetypes represent the different roles and energies that operate in our lives. The persona, the social mask, the anima/animus, the feminine/masculine aspect of our psyche, the hero and the old sage, among others. Recognizing and working with these archetypes can provide key insights into understanding the changes and challenges we face as we enter the second half of our lives. The process of individuation also intertwines with the quest for a deeper sense of existence. Jung believed that psychological health depended not only on adaptation to the external world, but also on the development of a deeper relationship with the inner world. In this sense, the decades following the 40s can be seen as an invitation to explore and reconcile with oneself at a deeper level, a journey that is not only healing, but also profoundly spiritual. In summary, Carl Jung's work offers us a map to navigate midlife with a perspective that celebrates the possibility of growth and renewal. For those reaching their 40s and beyond, his ideas on individuation suggest that this period can be one of the most fruitful and liberating of our lives, an opportunity to align with our authentic self and live with fullness and purpose. This process is not only a journey toward the integration of the shadows and lights of our being, but also an open door to the wisdom that only experience and self-examination can bring. In the fascinating realm of Carl Jung's psychology, the process of individuation holds a central place as the path to personal fulfillment and the discovery of the true self. This concept is especially relevant for those navigating midlife, a period often marked by deep reflections and internal transformations. Individuation refers to the comprehensive psychological development of an individual, through which the different parts of the personality are integrated into a unified whole. It is a journey towards self-knowledge and self-realization where every aspect, from the most conscious to those hidden in the unconscious, is explored and brought to light. According to Jung, this process is not only crucial for psychological well-being, but also an essential need for humans to achieve a full and meaningful life. In practice, Individuation allows individuals to free themselves from false identifications and external influences that limit their true nature. It is a journey where one begins to live more authentically, aligning actions and decisions with what is truly oneself beyond social or familial expectations. For those in midlife, this process can manifest as an awakening, where questions about purpose and the meaning of life become more persistent. It is common for many people to experience what has been termed a midlife crisis during this period, which is merely a symptom of the natural drive towards individuation. This urge can lead to significant changes, such as career shifts, relationship renewals, or the adoption of new lifestyles that more faithfully reflect the individual's internal desires and needs. The process also involves confronting and reconciling with what Jung called the shadow, that part of us that contains traits that, for one reason or another, we have decided to hide or repress. The shadow is not just the dark side of our personality, but also a storehouse of unrealized potential and positive qualities that we have not been able or willing to express. By recognizing and accepting these repressed aspects, we can achieve greater integrity and authenticity. Besides the shadow, individuation also involves a relationship with archetypes, universal structures of the collective unconscious that influence our behavior and perceptions. Among these are figures like the anima, the feminine aspect in men, the animus, the masculine aspect in women, and the self, which represents the totality of the psyche. By interacting with and understanding these archetypes, a person can better understand themselves and steer their life towards a sense of wholeness. Jung believed that individuation does not have a specific end or arrival point. It is rather a continuous process that unfolds throughout life. However, it is during midlife that many people feel most compelled to embark on this journey, as it is a time when the accumulation of experiences and awareness of mortality become more tangible. The process of individuation is also profoundly liberating. It allows individuals to shed the masks they have worn for years and reveal their true selves. By doing so, they not only improve their own lives, but also enrich their relationships with others, being able to interact in a more genuine and profound way. Ultimately, individuation is an act of bravery. It requires the courage to look within oneself, to confront the unknown, and to make changes that can often be uncomfortable or challenging. But for those in midlife, this process offers an unparalleled opportunity to renew their existence and live with authenticity and fullness that perhaps they had never experienced before. This path, though personal and unique to each individual, is universal in its relevance and its potential to transform. Thus, as we navigate the complexities of life, Jung's guidance and his conception of individuation can serve as a beacon of hope and a map towards self-discovery and personal fulfillment in the later, and possibly richest, years of our lives. When Carl Jung explored the recesses of the human soul and the process of individuation, he provided a refreshing and deeply resonant perspective on personal awakening that often occurs around the age of 40. This time in an individual's life is usually marked by significant introspection and can be seen as a true turning point. It is a time when many begin to question the path they have taken so far and explore new possibilities that resonate more authentically with their inner self. At 40, most people have lived enough life to accumulate a wealth of rich and varied experiences. They have known success and failure, joy and sorrow, and have formed deep relationships while parting from others. At this point, with the wisdom that only years can grant, many find themselves in an ideal position to reflect on what truly matters. This is fertile ground for what Jung termed individuation, where the individual feels driven to take stock of their life and realign their course. The term midlife crisis has often been misunderstood and wrapped in negative connotations. However, from a Jungian perspective, this crisis could more appropriately be considered a midlife review. It is not necessarily a time to lament what might have been, but rather an opportunity to recalibrate and redirect energy towards what can still be. It is an invitation to live more fully, to embrace changes that may lead to greater satisfaction and fulfillment. For many, turning 40 brings a shift in priorities. Material achievements and status, which once seemed of utmost importance, may begin to lose their luster, making room for a desire for deeper connection, both with oneself and others. At this life stage, the questions become more essential. Am I living the life I want to live? Do my relationships reflect my true values? How do I want to be remembered? These questions echo Jung's quest for individuation, a call to connect with our true purpose and core values. Moreover, this period of life often sees individuals seeking greater authenticity in their expressions and actions. They may find themselves taking up new hobbies, exploring new careers, or redefining their identity beyond the roles they have played until now, such as those of parents, spouses, or professionals. This is an act of bravery, a willingness to dismantle the persona they built for the outside world and rebuild themselves in a truer form. This process of transformation is not without its challenges. It can bring a feeling of instability and fear, as change often involves stepping into the unknown. But it also offers an extraordinary opportunity for growth. Through introspection and sometimes through therapy or spiritual counseling, old wounds can be discovered and healed, allowing a new strength to emerge. This is the heart of individuation, a journey toward becoming the person one is meant to be, beyond imposed expectations. In practice, individuating in midlife might mean learning to say no to demands that do not resonate with our deepest values and yes to those opportunities that promise true satisfaction. It's learning to live not for others, but with others, in a way that honors our uniqueness and contributes meaningfully to the world. Jung emphasized that individuation is not a selfish process. It is an act of balance where one becomes more whole and thus more capable of being a constructive and loving participant in the lives of others. It's finding a path that is authentically ours, not one dictated by society or by our early adaptations to life. As we continue our journey beyond 40, inspired by Jung's ideas, we can see this stage not as the beginning of the end, but as the beginning of what could be the richest and most fulfilling part of our lives. Here, the wisdom we have accumulated becomes a beacon guiding our path to greater authenticity, and each step on this path reflects a conscious choice toward realizing our true potential. In many ways, life really begins at 40. Carl Jung, one of the giants of 20th century psychological thought, led us on a journey through the human mind where concepts such as archetypes and the collective unconscious play fundamental roles. These elements are not just pieces of a clinical puzzle. They are tools that, when understood and applied correctly, can provide profound insights and foster personal growth, especially as we move towards and through middle age. According to Jung, archetypes are primordial images or patterns of behavior that we all share, regardless of our culture or upbringing. They are embedded in what he called the collective unconscious, a kind of repository of the experiences and memories of the human species. Each archetype represents a fundamental facet of human experience. Among them are universally recognizable figures such as the hero, the sage, the rebel, the mother, and the father. These archetypes are not just mythological figures or story characters. They are manifestations of our own lives, acting as guides, protectors, instigators, and sometimes as adversaries. For those in middle age, archetypes provide a framework for understanding the changes and challenges they face. For example, the hero archetype may be particularly resonant for someone at a significant turning point, striving to overcome obstacles and forge a new path in life. This archetype encourages courage, determination, and adventure, qualities that can be essential when facing life's uncertainties during this period. The sage archetype, on the other hand, invites reflection and introspection, offering wisdom and guidance from the depths of the collective unconscious. As people reach their 40s and beyond, they often become more reflective about their place in the world and seek a deeper purpose. The sage can guide this quest, helping individuals connect with their inner knowledge and use their accumulated experience to make more informed and meaningful decisions. Meanwhile, the archetypes of the mother and the father take on new meaning during middle age. These refer not only to parenting children, but also to how we care for ourselves and others in our broader network of relationships. The care, protection, and support associated with these roles can become a reflection of how we treat ourselves and how we take on responsibilities towards others in our community. Jung also discussed the archetype of the shadow, which contains those aspects of ourselves we do not wish to acknowledge or show to the world. Middle age is a frequent time for the shadow to emerge, as the pressures to maintain certain facets of our lives begin to wane and hidden truths seek the light. Facing the shadow is not an easy process, but it is essential for individuation and personal fulfillment. Recognizing and reconciling our less desirable parts can lead to significant liberation and renewal of vital energy. Through working with these archetypes, individuals can begin to see patterns in their lives that previously seemed chaotic or senseless. Archetypes offer a symbolic language through which experiences and conflicts can be interpreted. This process of interpretation not only helps alleviate psychological distress, but also facilitates greater personal growth by providing a sense of clarity and direction. The collective unconscious, meanwhile, acts as a vast ocean from which these archetypes emerge. Although we are not directly aware of it, its currents shape our perceptions and behaviors. As people mature and become more introspective, they can learn to better navigate these waters, using insights from the collective unconscious to guide their personal development. Exploring these Jungian concepts allows people in middle age to reconnect with aspects of themselves that may have been ignored or underestimated. This can be especially powerful at a life stage where transformation often feels both necessary and intimidating. Archetypes and the collective unconscious are not just abstract concepts. They are living parts of our psyche that, when understood and integrated, can lead to profound self-realization and fulfillment. In conclusion, Jung's work offers us a map to navigate middle age with an enriching perspective. We are not merely subject to the whims of fate or the aftermath of past decisions. We are instead active participants in a broader psychological narrative that unfolds in the theater of our own unconscious. By exploring and working with our archetypes and delving into the collective unconscious, we can unlock new dimensions of ourselves and embark on a second half of life, not only with greater awareness, but with a renewed passion for living authentically. Midlife, according to Carl Jung, is not only a period of reflection and evaluation, but also one of significant psychological and emotional challenges. As we approach or surpass our 40s, we find ourselves at a life crossroads where questions about who we are and what we truly want from life become more urgent and difficult to ignore. This period, often characterized by a search for authenticity and fulfillment, can bring with it a series of unique challenges that, although intimidating, also offer opportunities for profound growth and transformation. One of the main challenges of this stage is facing the so-called midlife crisis. Although commonly thought of in terms of stereotypes like buying a sports car or drastically changing one's lifestyle, the midlife crisis is essentially a deep sense of dissatisfaction or questioning of life choices made up to that point. It is not simply about lamenting missed opportunities, but rather a deep reevaluation of what really matters. This period can be the catalyst for significant change, where people decide to leave unsatisfying jobs, end or begin relationships, or take up new hobbies that more authentically reflect their interests and desires. The challenge of personal and professional relevance also becomes more prominent during midlife. There may be a growing desire to do work that is not only rewarding, but also leaves a lasting legacy. The question, what mark do I want to leave on the world, becomes more urgent. This challenge is deeply connected to Jung's individuation, as it drives the individual to seek a more authentic expression of their identity and capabilities. It is not uncommon for people at this life stage to embark on entirely new careers or get involved in social or community causes as a way to make sense of their accumulated experiences and skills. Emotionally, midlife can bring an increased awareness of mortality. Health may begin to decline, or friends or family members may be lost. These experiences can provoke reflection on death and aging, which in turn can trigger a reassessment of personal values and priorities. This recognition of mortality can be a somber awakening, but often acts as a strong reminder of the importance of living fully and with purpose. The confrontation with Jung's shadow, those parts of ourselves we have rejected or ignored, intensifies during midlife. Traits or desires that were suppressed in youth for fear of rejection or the need to conform may resurface, demanding to be acknowledged and integrated into the total personality. This process of reconciling previously hidden or denied aspects of oneself can be unsettling, but is crucial for achieving a sense of wholeness and authenticity. Additionally, the challenge of relationships undergoes significant changes during this stage. Children may grow up and leave home, raising questions about roles and identity beyond being a parent. Partner relationships may need rejuvenation as dynamics shift over time. New friendships may form while others fade, reflecting the internal changes and new directions in the individual's life. Successfully navigating these challenges requires developing greater self-awareness and resilience. Meditation, therapy, spiritual retreats, or simply time dedicated to reflection and self-care can provide the necessary space to process and understand these changes. Additionally, adopting a proactive approach to personal growth, such as learning new skills or dedicating time to forgotten passions, can revitalize the mind and spirit. Finally, it is essential to recognize that these challenges are not just obstacles, but also bridges to greater fulfillment and satisfaction in life. Each challenge faced and overcome in midlife not only adds to our strength and wisdom, but also brings us closer to the person we aspire to be. In this sense, midlife, with all its trials and rewards, can truly be seen not as a period of crisis, but as one of culmination and renewal. Carl Jung, a visionary of 20th century psychology, opened doors to understanding the depths of the human being, highlighting that each of us carries a rich internal narrative composed of dreams, challenges, and transformations. As we delve into midlife, these aspects become especially palpable, and the stories of individuation that emerge can be as varied and profound as the people themselves. Exploring real-life tales of individuation not only humanizes Jung's theory, but also provides a mirror in which we can see our own journeys and challenges reflected. Consider, for example, the story of Anna, a 45-year-old marketing executive whose professional life was at its peak, but who internally felt dissatisfied and disconnected from her true passions. After attending a self-discovery retreat, Anna began to explore her creativity, something she had sidelined for her career. Returning to painting, an activity she loved in her youth, Anna rediscovered a part of herself that had been suppressed. This re-encounter with her artistic side not only enriched her personal life, but also transformed her professional approach, leading her to found a company focused on creative marketing strategies that reflect authenticity and personal expression. Then there's Marcos, a 50-year-old physician whose life changed drastically following a health crisis. The experience of being close to death led Marcos to rethink his approach to medicine and life. He decided to devote more time to preventive medicine and wellness, both in his professional practice and his personal life. Additionally, he began to value moments with his family and friends more, prioritizing relationships over professional ambitions. Marcos's individuation reveals how personal challenges can lead to profound transformation and redefinition of life's purpose. Or consider Elena, a literature teacher who, upon entering her 40s, faced the emptiness of the nest when her children left home. The initial loneliness overwhelmed her, but eventually motivated her to write a novel, something she had always wanted to do but never found the time for. The process of writing not only filled the void left by her children, but also allowed her to explore and process many of her own experiences and emotions through her characters. The successful publication of her book was a testament to her personal growth and how individuation can manifest through creativity and self-expression. Each of these stories illustrates different facets of Jung's theory of individuation. Anna, Marcos, and Elena found ways to reintegrate suppressed parts of their personalities and to redirect their lives toward a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. These accounts not only show the versatility of individuation, but also highlight how, often, it is through life's challenges and transitions that opportunities for personal growth become most apparent. Moreover, these stories reflect a central element of Jungian theory, the shadow. Each of these individuals face parts of themselves they would have preferred to ignore or leave unexplored. However, by confronting and working with these aspects, they not only achieved greater authenticity in their lives, but also facilitated a process of transformation that affected all areas of their existence. It is essential to recognize that individuation is neither a linear nor easy process. It requires courage to face the unknown within oneself and the willingness to make changes that can often be uncomfortable or challenging. However, as these stories show, the results can be profoundly enriching, offering renewed vitality and a more integrated and holistic perspective on life. For those in midlife, these tales of individuation offer both comfort and inspiration. They demonstrate that, although the path to self-realization may be fraught with uncertainties, it is also filled with possibilities for reinvention and rediscovery. By sharing these experiences, we not only deepen our understanding of ourselves and others, but also strengthen our capacity to face challenges with resilience and hope. In summary, the stories of individuation are testimonies to the power of the human spirit to adapt, transform, and ultimately thrive. By learning from them, we can find a means to navigate our own midlife with greater wisdom and grace, recognizing that every challenge is an opportunity to progress further on the fascinating journey toward the true self.